What is up, guys? Soul Sports back again with another video. And in today's video, no, it's not what's next. Today, I'm gonna do my free agency prediction. Now, I have a list of the top free agents here, and this list is definitely not in order, 100%. So, if I say some names, don't be like, oh, why is he over this guy? It is not in order. It's just the first names that came to mind, and I just kept going. I'll probably do the top 15 on this list, because some of these guys like Marcus Morris, KCP are on my list. Like, those guys, who cares about those guys? But let's get into it. First guy on my list was Kawhi Leonard, and I think he resigns with the Toronto Raptors. Looking at what Kawhi has done for the Raptors in only one season, bringing them farther than anybody else has ever done. I mean, Kawhi has a whole city behind his back. You made it to the finals your first year, so that has to amount for something. And I just think that, yeah, he'll resign. It makes the most sense. Why leave this when you can have potentially a trip to the finals for many years to come? I mean, your only competition is Milwaukee, and you guys beat them pretty good. You beat them pretty good. You kind of had a blueprint on how to stop them, and I think that's the blueprint to go with going forward. So, yeah. Second guy I have is, of course, Kevin Durant, and I do believe Kevin Durant will be going to the New York Knicks. I think it's already set in stone. I mean, he sold his house he didn't sell it, but his house in Oakland is up for sale, and he just recently bought a property in New York. He has tons of friends and some like management guys in New York. It just all makes sense. The reports, everything, it just makes sense. Nothing else to say. Klay Thompson, I'm gonna make this quick. I think he's gonna resign. He's been a Warrior for a long time now, and I think he's gonna continue that. Again, makes the most sense. I don't know why you'd leave that story franchise to go be, the man or something somewhere else. And even if you do go somewhere else, where else would you be able to go where you can replicate what you're doing in Golden State? Maybe Milwaukee, but nah, just stay. Number 4. Now, this one was a tricky. Jimmy Butler. Now, don't hit me on this, but I have Jimmy Butler signing with the LA Clippers. Now, if you think about it, it all makes sense. Clippers can offer you a max contract. You'll be the man, and you'll be living in LA. I mean, I don't want to say it's a perfect scenario, because it really isn't, but for a team that was the 8th seed last year to add an all-star in Jimmy Butler, a great 3-and-D player, a great two-way player in Jimmy Butler, makes sense, as I said numerous times. Next on my list, I have Kyrie Irving, and I have him going to, don't hate me for this again, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I do believe Kyrie Irving will be joining LeBron once again, but this time in LA. When you talk about what LA has as terms of players, you have Lonzo Ball, who I think will counteract Kyrie really well, and you have LeBron there, the best player of our generation. So, I mean, what more could you really ask for, And he's also already familiar with LeBron, so there shouldn't be like a learning curve or trying to get the chemistry up, because, I mean, they've won a championship together, so should be fine. Next on my list, I have Tobias Harris, and I think this one was kind of hard too, but in the end, I think Tobias Harris signs with the Kings. I would love to see Tobias Harris on the Kings. It makes the most sense. Once again, that's going to be the norm. Most sense. This makes a lot of sense. I mean, talk about it. Marvin Bagley was playing the 5 this year. He's not a traditional 4 because he can't space the floor. So obviously the 5 is great for him. Willie Cauley-Stein is probably gone. And then you just slide Tobias in at the 4. And then you got a great starting lineup with great spacing. You got De'Aaron Fox to lead the way. Buddy Hield. You got Harrison Barnes, or if you want to find another small forward, you can also do that. And then Tobias and Marvin Bagley. That's a great starting 5, and it's relatively young too. So even if they don't get it this season, it's not like, Tobias is 31, 32, 33. I think Tobias is like 26, 27. So they kind of do have a couple years, get it right, get it together. And it makes sense. They just missed the playoffs last year, so they're going to try to be aggressive to make the playoffs this year. And this is an aggressive move that also makes a lot of sense. Moving on, I have Julius Randle, and wow, this one was tough, but in the end, I think Julius Randle I think he goes to the Jazz. Now, hear me out on this. I don't think Julius Randle will get that much buzz, so to say, in free agency as compared to a guy like Tobias Harris, because his spacing isn't the same. He is kind of a rink. Okay, to an extent, I kind of want to say he's like Zion, an athletic guy who can play make and defend well. But his only problem is he's not that much of a force player. He shot around 34% from 3 this year. But I mean, in Utah, you can be a second scorer. Against pairing him up with Rudy, I don't know how that's gonna work out spacing wise. But I mean, that's gonna be an experiment. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I mean, maybe bring him off the bench or something. I don't know. But Julius Randle, he's a weird one. He's definitely a weird one. But I think Utah, I like the fit. I would say Sacramento, but I mean, they're signing Tobias, as I said earlier. So yeah. Moving on though, next on my list I have Kemba Walker, and I think he joins KD in the New York Knicks with Kyrie Irving off the table going to the Lakers. The Knicks get the next best option in Kemba Walker, and a pairing of Kemba Walker and KD and that number 3 pick, or if they trade it for 80, that's gonna compete with the Raptors for the finals, definitely. And I hope this happens because man, that's gonna be so fun to watch. Could you imagine KD, Kawhi? Oh my god, dude, it's gonna be New York, Toronto. Oh my god, dude, that'll be a great series to watch. That'll be a very great series to watch. But yeah, I don't think it's much to say about Kemba. I mean, Kemba's an amazing guy. Obviously, leaving Charlotte will hurt him and will hurt Charlotte, but it'll just initiate the rebuild, which they should have initiated like 2 seasons ago. And yeah, next on my list I have Chris Middleton. I'm gonna make this quick. Chris Middleton's gonna resign. He was an All-Star this year, a great player from what he came from. Makes sense to resign. They can give you the most money. You're already familiar with them. Run it back. No reason to go and get fancy and try new things. Just stay in Milwaukee, bro. Then I got D'Angelo Russell. Again, another guy. He's going to resign. They can offer him the most money. Again, same thing with Chris Middleton. You're familiar. Run it back. No reason to go and get fancy. And I don't think it's like him getting fancy. I think it's Brooklyn. Because I think Brooklyn is kind of hesitant on giving D'Angelo Russell the max. Brooklyn, just do it. He's gotten better every single year, and he's going to continue to get better. Just do it. Next on my list, I have Nikola Vucevic, another guy that I believe will resign. Now, okay. No, never mind. I was going to like start adding if this happens, if that happens, but this is my prediction. So I predict that he will resign. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, I don't know. And I'm trying to think of other teams that he could fit on, but I would say like the Lakers, maybe the Kings, but I already have them signed Tobias for the Kings and then Kyrie for the Lakers respectively, so they wouldn't have any cap left. So I'm just gonna say that he resigns with the Orlando Magic. Again, can offer you the most money. Go get that bag, bro. Moving on, DeMarcus Cousins. Now he's a weird one. He's a very weird one, considering he's coming off of 2 lower body injuries. You're 7 foot. He looked horrible game 1. So that's the player factor. He's not going to command a lot of money. Maybe he resigns with I say he resigns with the Golden State Warriors, considering that they're going to lose KD. They're going to try to keep as much firepower around as possible. He's firepower, so resigns with the Warriors on a cheap small deal, and then he'll go sign maybe his like a long-term deal in 2 or 3 seasons, something around that. Now I have Malcolm Brogdon, of course, resign. And Malcolm Brogdon is so underrated, and he's not talked about, and it's a shame. Malcolm Brogdon is the guy who gives you 15 on 50, 40, 90, and great defense. Amazing draft pick for the Milwaukee Bucks. Amazing. And I know teams are hesitant to draft guys who played 4 years, but I mean, bro, they're so polished. They're so great when they come into, well, most of them are great when they come into the league, and Malcolm Brogdon is a prime example of why you shouldn't be afraid to do that. And for my final guy, no, we'll talk about a couple more guys actually. Al Horford, I think he'll decline his player option, re-sign for a longer deal. I think he loves Boston. Not really much to say about him. Derrick Rose, no, this is a weird one. I think Derrick Rose will go back to Chicago. There's been rumors about it. I think it's gonna happen. If I was Derrick Rose, I would make it happen. You know, Derrick Rose obviously did not want to leave Chicago, excuse me. Coming off the bench or starting, and if they draft a point guard, mentoring that point guard, it's all falling into place. It would be beautiful. And now, the last person I want to talk about really quickly, who I do think will be getting a lot of buzz, Brook Lopez. This is an interesting one because Brook Lopez showed that he can splash, and a lot of teams are going to come crawling to him to try to sign him, pry him away from Milwaukee. We got this much money more that we can offer you. We can offer you this, we can offer you that. But in the end, I do believe Brook Lopez will resign. Milwaukee, you won 60 games. Just run it back. I think you have them running back mentality. Doesn't matter about the money, Brook. He's gotten so much money throughout his career with Brooklyn. Just resign. You won 60 games last year. There's no reason to leave that at all. No reason. So I predict he will resign with the Milwaukee Bucks. And on that note, that's it for this video, guys. I know it's kind of all over the place or whatever. I'm kind of in a rush because I have guests over and I have graduation tomorrow. So wish me luck on that. That's why this video is kind of late, because I was really busy today. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know, either tomorrow or the next day I will have the perfect like free agent signing, because today was like my prediction, but there's a perfect scenario for each person, and that's what I want to talk about, like perfect scenario or fit. For example, I'm gonna spoil one part of the video. I would like to see Kemba Walker go to the Pacers. I don't think he would go to the Pacers, but I think that would be a low-key, a nice signing. But I'm gonna explain it more in the next video. But yeah, as for this video, I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And it's So Sport, and I'm out. Peace.